a little bit of, friendly game. Yes, but yes, talking about friendly game, preseason, Arsenal played out a 1-0 draw yesterday. No, compared to Manchester United, I got a 2-0 victory over Leeds United. Okay, so this and more we look at on the show this morning. Remember, you can be part of the program. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM, Solutions 939 FM, YouTube, Solutions 939 FM. Download our app on Google Play Store. Type Solutions 939 FM on that Google Play Store. Click the download button. Listen on the go. And you're good to go. You can as well search for Solutions 939 FM via Radio Garden. Solutions 939 FM. Welcome on board. Okay, so let's start with tennis this morning, and we look straight at the ATP category. Where games will be looking like something that some of us will want to sip something. Talking about the semi-final round where Novak Djokovic will be in action today against Jannik Sinner, and that will be by 1:30. And Carlos Alcaraz will take on Daniil Medvedev. Remember, talking about Carlos Alcaraz, he came out yesterday to say that, it is not about cheating when they said his dad was recording Novak Djokovic. And saying that, for Novak Djokovic, he has been, a man he has been looking forward to as a mentor. But hey, the winner between Novak Djokovic and Jannik Sinner will battle the winner between Carlos Alcaraz and Daniil Medvedev. However, yesterday, Ons Jabeur defeated Arina Sabalenka 6-7, 6-4, 6-3 to move to the final of the Wimbledon WTA category to face Marketa Vondrousova, who defeated Elina Svitolina 6-3, 6-3. So here is Ons Jabeur talking about how she was able to handle this particular pressure.
For you, the story continues because you are through to another Wimbledon final. Congratulations.
You better continue speaking. I have no words to say, but thank you to the crowd that kept me in the match, really, because it was very, very difficult accepting her serves and her shots. So thank you guys for cheering for me until the last moment and believing in me.
But I know that you have been working so hard on controlling emotions, sticking to your game plan. When you lose a first set by such a narrow margin, when you get into a position in the second set that you didn't want to be in, where do you go? How do you find that resilience, composure, self-belief?
Well, I mean, I'm working a lot with my mental coach about this, so it's helping me a lot. And like I said last time, I might be writing a book about it. It's too much. I'm very proud of myself because maybe old me would have lost the match today and went back home already. But I'm glad that I kept digging very deep and finding the strength.
Ons Jabeur speaking there. Well, when you win, you've got a lot of people backing you. And let us also see what she can do this time around if she can lift the Wimbledon trophy. That will be going down on Saturday, 2 o'clock. And, Saturday Sports Safari will be live by then to also give you the live update from the Wimbledon. Now, talking about the ATP, remember we told you today is going to be Jannik Sinner taking on Novak Djokovic, while Carlos Alcaraz will take on Daniil Medvedev. Moving away from tennis this morning, and let's look at more updates from other sports. Okay, well, moving away from other sport this morning because of our time, let's go straight and look at updates coming from the second half of the show where we look at football and talk about Nigeria Super 8. It's going to be a double game today in Lagos, where my Sporting Lagos will be up against Aqua United. But hey, let's dive straight to that side. We'll talk more of football on that end. The battle of stars at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in the first semi-final game of the Niger Super 8 World kicks off 2 p.m. today. Lobby Stars will face off West Ramos Stars for a coveted place in the final. Well, the Jabal facing a team from Makurdi. Well, for Sporting Lagos will take on Aqua United. That game will be 4:30, but the first game of the day will be by 2 p.m. Mobolaji Johnson Arena is the venue for that game. Moving away from that, and let's talk Nigerian football this morning, where Nigeria Super Eagles have been drawn in Group C alongside South Africa, Benin Republic, Rwanda, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. The African qualification draw for the 2026 World Cup to be co-hosted in USA, Mexico, and Canada was held in Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire on Thursday. It will be a reunion between the Super Eagles players and former coach Gernot Rohr, who is the current handler of the Benin Republic team. The German coach led the Eagles to qualify for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia, where they crashed out in the group stage. Remember that same tournament, John Mikel Obi's father, kidnapped. Well, the last time the three-time AFCON champions, faced South Africa in the World Cup qualifiers was a race to the 1994 edition. Both teams clashed in the first round, and the Eagles, with the Eagles triumphing 4-0 in Lagos before holding South Africa to a goalless encounter in Johannesburg. Also, the Eagles faced Zimbabwe and Rwanda in the same qualifying group for the Germany 2026 World Cup. The Eagles failed to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar after losing to Ghana in goal difference, playing goalless in Kumasi and 1-1 in Abuja. Meanwhile, the first round games of the 2026 World Cup qualifiers will begin in November. That should be 13th, 2013, and end November 18, 2025. The qualification format adopted by CAF will see 9 groups of 6 teams play in a home and away round-robin matches. The group winners will qualify for the 2026 World Cup, while the 4 best group runners-up will be drawn into playoffs to determine the CAF representatives at the Inter-Confederation playoffs. Well, looking at the 2026 World Cup group qualifying in Africa, Group A has the Pharaohs of Egypt, Burkina Faso, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, Ethiopia, and Djibouti. Group B has African champions Senegal, DR Congo, Mauritania, Togo, Sudan, South Sudan. Remember, we told you earlier, Nigeria in Group C alongside Bafana of South Africa, Benin Republic, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, and Lesotho. In Group D, we've got the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, Cape Verde, Angola, Libya, Eswatini, Mauritius. And Group E has Morocco, Zambia, the Chipolopolo, Congo, Tanzania, Niger Republic, and Eritrea. Group F has the Elephants of Ivory Coast, Gabon, Kenya, Gambia, Burundi, and we have Seychelles. In Group G, Algeria, Guinea, Uganda, Mozambique, Botswana, Somalia, all in Group G. Group H has Tunisia, Equatorial Guinea, Namibia, Malawi, Liberia, and Sao Tome. Group I has Mali, Black Stars of Ghana, Madagascar, Central African Republic, Comoros, and Chad. Well, let's wish Nigeria Super Eagles all the best as the qualifiers start. And the next few months, however, remember the Super Eagles, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, at the World Cup as they're getting set for the FIFA Women's World Cup. They've been in Australia, and for Coach Rondo Waldrum has something positive to say about the team.
of the team as a group?
You know, it's been very good. Camp's gone really well. The players are working really hard. The talent level is good, and I'm extremely happy, you know, with the first, whatever we're into now, day 5, I guess, of training. And it's been fun to watch.
How confident are you going into the World Cup?
Well, I'm confident. You know, we have talent, and we've always said that. And if we can, over these 10 days of training, if we can get them organized the way we want them organized, especially defensively, then we'll have every opportunity to be successful in the Cup. So I believe in the players.
Do we have any injury worries?
No, just a couple of knocks, a couple of injuries that concern me a little bit, you know, with some players. But outside of that, if they're healthy, then, you know, it's all about our performances and how we play.
And lastly, I want you to give assurances. How confident are you that we're going to make it out of the group stage?
Well, I'm confident. You know, Canada, all the focus has been on Canada, quite frankly, and we know how important that first match is going to be to us. And we need to get something out of it, and it doesn't mean it's the end of our group play if we don't, but it would be a very big start for us to get something out of that match. And I'm confident the players can do it, and the more important thing is, and kind of speaking to the players individually, they're very confident that they can get something out of the match.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, so that was Coach Radwandraba speaking to the media officer of the team. That is Tobe Chuku. Well, wishing the team all the best right there in Australia. Well, let's go on a break, and when we return, we talk more football stories, looking at the groups and looking at what is currently happening, what teams, clubs are currently doing right now to make sure that they have a better team going to the new league season.
Abeg, make una come see sweet and chingo wey Sumafu carry enter market. This one you no go fit say no. Come make you for see ogbonge yellow biscuit wey you for enjoy every bite. If na sweet you dey find, vitamin, coffee bite, Candy Crush nko, abi na biscuit you dey find like crackers, big crunchy, low pack, fiber active, cabin lucky. You never finish abi you dey find chewing gum, World Cup nko, Robert chewing gum, Zoom, Hawk, no go carry so make you go forget yellow bread wey no get rival. Suma Foods na love at first bite.
John,
what's up?
check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me self I define who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 hash to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use and recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
Okay, welcome back. Check your time right now. It is 8:18 from your Remedy Radio Dial Solutions 939 FM. We're talking women's football. We're getting updates concerning the Olympic preparations. Well, let's just quickly let you know how the groups look like once again as we count down to the FIFA Women's World Cup. New Zealand, Norway, Philippines, Switzerland in Group A. Group B has Australia, Canada, Nigeria, Republic of Ireland, and in Group C, Costa Rica, Japan, Spain, Zambia in that group. China, Denmark, England, Haiti in Group D, while Group E has Netherlands, Portugal, United States, and Vietnam. While Group F has Brazil, France, Jamaica, Panama. Group G has got Argentina, Italy, South Africa, Sweden. In Group H, Colombia, Germany, South Korea, Morocco all occupy that group. And wishing all the teams all the best. Now talking about Olympic Games qualification for women in Africa. Guinea-Bissau will play Benin Republic as Guinea will be up against Ghana, a women's national team. You call them the Black Queens, right? When you have the Black Stars as the male national team. Okay, now let's talk preseason. It was a draw for Arsenal's team. Yeah. Yesterday against Nuremberg. Arsenal were held to a 1-0 draw by Nuremberg in their opening game of the preseason despite an early goal from Bukayo Saka in Germany on Thursday. Saka, who scored 14 goals and added 11 assists as Arsenal finished second in the Premier League last season, got his signs of preparations for the new season off to a perfect start when converted an assist from Ben White after just 7 minutes. Well, remember, Arsenal's preseason will next head to the U.S. Beginning with Wednesday's MLS All-Star Game in Washington, D.C. Now, moving away from that, we've got more games. Today there are a lot of live updates this morning, but the preseason in Israel, where Apol Petah Tikva is up against Ironi Neshor in Israel, is 1-0 for the 6 minutes of action, while Israeli side SC Ashdod is up against 9 Yohendai. And Ashdod is leading that game 3-0 for those who know where to put their money or where their mouth is. Okay. But we'll also have a preseason game in Portugal where Estrela will take on Sporting CP. Olympiacos of Greece will take on Nordsjælland of Denmark today. A lot of preseason games. Well, remember, we are also getting updates that Harry Kane is likely flying with the Premier League side Tottenham for their preseason. Well, reports we have today has it that Daniel Levy met Bayern Munich chief executive Jan Christian Dressen on Thursday to discuss the possible transfer of Harry Kane. Although report has it that no meaningful progress was made, but dialogue remains open. This is not the first time Levy and Bayern have met or spoken. Well, Tottenham will continue to try and persuade Kane to sign a lucrative contract extension for fear he will leave for a Premier League rival should he run down his current deal. Now, with that, we drive straight and look at who is staying, who's leaving.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, first, who's leaving? Who's leaving the Super League? Juventus has initiated the procedure to pull out of the European Super League project. That's according to reports we got from Italy. Juventus said they had started a discussion on their exit with Real Madrid and Barcelona, the other clubs remaining in the project. Juventus said their exit will be completed and effective only if authorized by Real Madrid and Barcelona. Former Juventus chairman Andre Agnelli, one of the figures behind the ESL project, was given a 16-month ban from soccer on Monday in a case about irregularities in the club's payment to players. Now, let's focus on transfer stories this morning. Well, he's an American man who could have been the Captain America in the Chelsea squad, but now maybe he can try that in Italy. Christian Pulisic says that he wished he had been given more opportunity to prove himself at Chelsea, but that his move to AC Milan can help him reach another level as a player. Jewish star signed a 4-year contract with Milan this week to end a stay at Chelsea that never quite lived up to initial expectation after his 64 million euros transfer from Borussia Dortmund in 2019. Okay, now talking more transfer stories, where Mexico international Rodolfo Pizarro has a deal in place to join AEK Athens, a move that will allow Inter Miami to use a designated player spot for Lionel Messi. Pizarro is expected to travel to Europe over the weekend to close on the last details of his contract and to sign with a team led by former Chivas and San Jose Earthquakes coach Matthias Almeida. Remember, we got the update that Lionel Messi should be unveiled this weekend, and he's already in the US with his family. Remember, Pizarro joined Inter Miami as the team's first designated player for its inaugural 2020 season before the 2022 season. He was loaned to his former team, Monterrey. Pizarro returned to the MLS this year after the Liga MX side declined their permanent transfer option. Now let's focus more. Let's look at more updates this morning. And remember, yesterday there was a particular story concerning Arsenal, Declan Rice, the lawyer of Arsenal. But yesterday we got the update that there's no problem. Declan Rice will be signed. Now, West Ham manager David Moyes says that Hammers cannot reinvest in new signings until the Declan Rice deal to Arsenal is done. The West Ham captain's £105 million move to Arsenal has been delayed due to paperwork at the Gunners' end, with the Hammers being promised that the deal will go through today, Friday. But I'm just expecting something. I'm just expecting something crazy. Maybe Arsenal lawyer will just come and say, "Okay, Declan Rice deal should just be stopped." I don't want to spoil people's mind this morning. Okay, let's go straight to Bournemouth, where the 24-year Bournemouth have agreed a deal with Lyon for midfielder Romain Faivre. The 24-year-old will join Lyon on loan for the forthcoming season and link up with the Bournemouth squad in the summer of 2024. Now let's talk about Onana this morning, where Andre Onana on his final dinner in Milano. That is coming from Fabrizio Romano. He had a dinner with some of his friends, most especially at Javier Zanetti's Botinero restaurant. Manchester United and Inter are closing on final details of the deal. All parties expect Onana to become new Manchester United player in the next hours. That's according to updates we are getting. Also, now let's move straight to Liverpool, because now they are releasing a lot of players. Remember, after Bobby, that is Roberto Firmino, left the Saudi Pro League, we're getting an update that El Atefaki, that is the team managed by Steven Gerrard, is already showing signs of bringing in Henderson. And well, Ederson gave his nod to the move yesterday. We're also getting an update that Brazilian midfielder Fabinho may also be moving to the Saudi Pro League. Well, let's just drop the anchor here. Maybe tomorrow we also get another player likely to move to the Saudi Pro League. We move to the other side of the show this morning, where we look at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspapers. Shout out to Oluwayemi Awoko, Araniyaya, Adeboje Yusuf. The guys are on Facebook watching live right now. Do not go anywhere. AM Update is live. We're right back.
ọmọ yìí kò kakú ó fẹ́ lóbi Dangote ó ní láti jagun ìgbádùn ayé pọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìpọ́njú má bẹ̀rù rọ́jú. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ no wole waku abuti gbe baku. No dey form say you jaju, try to dey kaku. Ali Celeste handles my situation, all my pains and my troubles. Steady light in my candle, chop long we part of the struggle. No one. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Happiness on the way, oh my God. Light up my fire, loloke. Mr. Money, me I'm a load, shake. One body shake it. Don't tell we I don't see the I be the over, me no be like Yazoo. That was okay, I mean that was shit. Eyes on me, I know people. Jamula on me, no be sodo. Muniru and Lay Jacka Soro. See, I didn't come, Miss Mommy Joe. 24 karat sati, be jazzy, be classy, be mighty. Bad boy from starting, no Miami, ile Illuminati. Ọmọ iko kaku, overlobi Dangote, oni láti jagun. Ìgbádùn ayé pọ̀ lẹ́yìn ìpọ́njú, má bẹ̀rù rọ́jú. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do. Ọmọ no wole waku abuti gbe baku. No dey form say you jaju, try to dey kaku. Ali Celeste handles my situation, all my pains and my troubles. Steady light in my candle, chop long we part of the struggle. No one. Sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Well, thank God it's Friday. Super excited to be back on your stereo. Good morning to you, IB City. Exactly 32 minutes gone past 8. Welcome to the last edition of From the Dailies for this week. We get to look at the national dailies and get a perspective of some of the stories that made the headlines this morning. Welcome to the show. My name is Victory Richard. Good morning to you, Double.
Yeah, good morning, Victory. Thank God it's Friday. And, well, so many headlines here. I've got with me the Nation and the Punch newspapers. And, well, it is more about money, palliative, how much Nigerians will be getting. We're getting reaction also after, the tribunal, your state yesterday, quashed a particular case against Governor Sheyi Makinde. Also, Abu Kefas, who's the governor in Taraba State, talking about cutting costs in order to push free education in that state.
Absolutely. A couple of headlines, interesting ones. that would, of course, be beneficial to all of us. So we need to tackle these headlines together. Hence the need for you to join in on the conversation. We're streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube at Solutions 939. So do well to jump in and lend your thoughts. Remember, Fridays are usually open mic, so you get to react to any story that is of interest to you. I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. Let's get right into the papers.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, starting off with the Nigerian Tribune this morning with this story. Labour Party, INEC boss in war of words. Guinness World Record, my body failed me after 50 hours of giving massages. Joy Ijoma speaking there. You'd recall that yesterday, Guinness World Record came out on the verified Twitter page to say they've received 150 entries from Nigerians. It's just funny.
And, saying it's okay.
I mean, they've given out a subtle message a couple of days ago saying, that make sure that your entries are approved before you commence with your cookathon or talkathon or whatever ton you intend to bring.
All the turns. I mean, remember, it was the same last week. I think 2 weeks ago, where they gave out rules, things you need to do before you can also say you want to, put in for any world record you want to break. But I don't think most of these people after Hilda, how many years Hilda, how many years she worked and put in, what she also put in place to start this particular world record breaking. And if you look at their page, they're not just anybody, planning to set or break record. But Nigerians just watch it in Ekiti. Was it Ekiti State? Yes, where they said they want to do Kisaton.
Yeah.
And the government of the state said,
they revolted.
Yeah, so it is just more of what record do you want to break that can inspire people? Yes, Hilda has inspired a lot of people, but some people are looking at it from the negative angle.
If you fail to plan,
yes, failure to plan is you're just planning to fail.
That's it. So I think that we really should stop abusing this record. Some people, they've done skits saying the book will soon get torn with the way Nigerians are after it. It's just sad. But Ijoma did actually, if she's been certified because there's nobody that's gotten up to 50 hours per se.
Okay. Now
International Kissing Day.
Okay.
All right, let's look at more stories this morning. Ekiti CJ hospitalized as office collapses. And now to the biggest story in the Nigerian Tribune, fuel subsidy fallout. Tinubu declares state of emergency on food security. Riders to that, 500,000 hectares mapped out for use. National Commodity Board coming to review. President says security agencies will protect farmlands. Emefiele charged to court, DSS. Why we suspended Max Air Boeing 737 from operations. NCAA speaking there. EFCC arrests 13 Chinese nationals over alleged mining activities in Kwara. They should have just called Wura. Lagos Airport cable theft. More heads to roll as fan makes minor reshufflement. Find that story on page 30. Organized labor. MBF Atiku orders kick over 8,000 monthly for 12 million household. Riders to that, Nigerians don't need cash distribution. Labour MBF. It's an attempt to divert public funds, Atiku alleges. 8,000 palliative for households sub-optional export. Senate approves $800 million or $800 billion loan request from Tinubu.
When it comes to money, just calm down.
Yeah, $800 billion money that you're proposing to share
as palliative
that we would not receive.
No, don't jump to conclusion.
The 5,000 from the previous administration, did you receive it?
I did not.
Did you know anybody who received it?
I I did not.
So if you received the 5,000 naira that was given by the previous
Maybe Nigerians
administration
can
as
call us this
palliative,
morning.
Yes, please let us know, because I want to have witnesses who received that money. Otherwise, I'll make my stance that I'm not receiving the money.
Actually, there are different angles to that. But if you look at the Nation newspaper, I think there's a breakdown, for those who will qualify, to earn that palliative. They have to check your account balance first. You that you are earning like
They'll be fine.
You are earning 6 digits.
God is my sufficiency.
Okay, let's go straight to the Punch newspaper this morning, and the cap headlines here. National Assembly approves 819 billion naira for subsidy palliative project. Dangote Cement plans new plant in Nigeria, Ghana, others. Service chiefs get Senate's nod, vow to tackle insecurity. And the banner headline this morning from the Punch newspaper, food shortage. Tinubu declares state of emergency, plans 500,000 hectares farmland. And riders to that headline, the first rider says, President orders year-round farming, releases fertilizer, grains to farmers, households. And the second rider says, security agents deployed to farms as FG plant transport concessionary loans for farmers. You want to read more? Get a copy of the Punch newspaper. We're still looking at other headlines on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. I don't understand. It's like Mark Zuckerberg is ready. He's not just doing tech or focusing on social media. This man is going on the octagon or going to the arena or boxing ring, because he was pictured with Nigeria, New Zealand, UFC fighter. That is Israel Adeyemi, and tagged to that picture says Mark Zuckerberg training with New Zealand Nigerian mixed martial arts star Israel Adesanya.
It's been speculated that
yeah, in preparation for cage fight, Elon Musk.
Yeah, are going to go to the battle ring.
Well, I think they've started the battle with the Threads versus Twitter.
Yeah.
And whoever wins will now have
I don't know, even Threads seems to be, the visibility that it received at the very beginning, it's no longer what it used to be from the last
based on the
couple of days.
followership, the hype.
No,
Well,
it's the followership is still there. I mean, it's 100 million in a couple of days, not up to a week. It's very commendable. But the way people were all over the place reacting, I don't think that same energy is what is utilized on there right now. People are still back to Twitter.
Well, you can't just you don't expect people to just leave like that. I mean, they can jostle both apps together. However, if it was when there was a Twitter ban in Nigeria, I can assure you that will be the next.
That would have been the best time to
have
milk the
unveiled.
Yes, that would have been the best time actually.
But Elon Musk was still planning to take over Twitter. But let's look at other headlines here.
Elon wasn't even the CEO then.
Yeah,
it was Jack Dorsey at the time.
Yeah, that's it. But EU reports opposition demands INEC chairman's prosecution. APC fumes. You can look at that on page 7. Maybe good news for some Nigerians, even Pastor Suleiman. And this report says Apostle Suleiman meant to be killed during attack. Suspect. And last headline. 13 Chinese nabbed for illegal mining in Kwara. Get a copy of the Punch newspaper this morning. Remember, we're on Threads at Solutions 939 FM.
Yes, do well to tread at us at Solutions 939 and reacting to the stories on Facebook as well as YouTube. So jump in and let's know your thoughts. Of course, the phone lines will be opened at the cost of the program. But if you want to save that up, that will be 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. You can also react to the headlines via messages on WhatsApp or regular text to 0904 422 2939. Let's move over to what paper now? The Vanguard newspaper, beginning with this story. Detention. Court gives DSS 7 days to try or release Emefiele. More stories. Tinubu declares state of emergency on food security. Court stops Kanu from demolition of houses. Find that story on page 12. 2023 polls, 300 billion naira donor funds. SARC prosecute INEC boss, LP to PDP. And now to the biggest story in the Vanguard newspaper. Uproar as Senate OK's fresh $800 million World Bank borrowing. Right as to that, as federal government plans 8,000 monthly palliative for 12 million poor households. NLC TUC kick. Export stakeholders lampoon palliative plans, suggest alternative use. More stories from the Vanguard this morning. Lightning kills 3 family members in Benue community. That's rather a sad story. God bless and rest your soul. Police bust 7-man gang that killed 6 in Apostle Johnson Suleiman's convoy. I saw that video yesterday with the perpetrator making a confession. Army Chief of Staff deploys troops to counter sit-at-home enforcers. NCAA suspends Marks Air B737 operations over safety concerns. Appointment. Senate confirms CDS service chiefs. And lastly, to sports, Everton battling to keep Iwobi. These are the stories on the front page of the Vanguard this morning.
They have to battle to keep him. Yes, he's our star man. All right, move on this morning. Let's look at the Nation newspaper here. Some of the headlines. Well, you've heard some from Victor Richard, but with different angles to the headlines. DSS files charges against Emefiele. Court order obeyed. Max Air's B737 planes barred from flying. Operations put on hold. Service chiefs pledge proactive security. Southeast insecurity. It's time for federal government action. Red headline from the Nation newspaper this morning. Check the time. It is 8:45. First Lady donates 14.25 million naira to Abuja flood victims.
Is it from her pocket?
When you get a copy of the Nation, you try to confirm.
That's a question.
But Victory, remember earlier this year, it was myself and yourself talking to the federal government, state government, to look at how they can avert, likely flood, based on what we got from the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, which they forecasted a likely flood. And now, the First Lady is donating 14.25 million naira, which should have been invested in other things.
If it was mitigated.
That is it. I think you were discussing, it was this year, right?
Yeah.
They were discussing about that, talking about
year.
there should be money, there should be some money, kept in some in a particular account for things like this, and when there's no flood, you can use it for other things. That is if the government can be.
Let's just hope that it's from her NGO or from her pocket.
It's going to be hopeful. That's hopeful, yeah.
Let's hope.
All right, Tinubu greets Soyinka at 89. Now, the banner headline this morning from the Nation newspaper: subsidy palliative, 12 million poor households to get $800 million cash. Victor, are you poor?
Not be poor. I will not be poor.
Okay, right after this headline: 8,000 naira per family for 6 months. House OK's 500 billion naira request by president. Okay, so let's look at revised supplementary budget. So there's this breakdown. The revised 815 billion 2022 supplementary budget. 500 billion naira for palliative, 185 billion naira to fix roads impacted by flooding, 192 billion naira to fix farmlands destroyed by flooding, 35 billion naira for NJC, 10 billion naira for FCT project, 70 billion naira for National Assembly.
Why?
Victory, calm down.
These monies, particularly to the National Assembly, is even triggering because they've disbursed money to the National Assembly for renovation the previous year, and we've seen the renovations done. So please, what exactly are they using? I heard it's for workers, the newly employed
staff.
Okay.
Yeah, they have staff.
70 billion naira.
Yes.
It's
And,
okay.
you know, I still have my concerns. I mean, to fix roads impacted by flooding, fix farmlands destroyed by flooding. So if you do the calculation of 185 plus 192 billion naira, if you add it together, that means, I don't know mathematics, but at least we should be having like
It's almost close to
three-
380 something.
387 billion naira. If necessary things are put in place and we can avert flood, that money will surely have positive effect in some states and on some in some ministries. But let's look at other headlines here. Tinubu declares emergency on food security. Commodity board to assess food prices. 10 million agri jobs coming. You know when they want to do advert? Coming soon. Now, electricity tariffs raise inevitable. Discos tell NERC. Judges' pay last reviewed 15 years ago. Judges' pay last reviewed 15 years ago, says SAN. Kanu's release bid for fails. How? We need to know, but you want to know, get a copy of the Nation newspaper. 8:49 is the time. We go straight to the burning issue. This morning we've got a lot of burning issues, but can everybody be like Agbo Kefas of Taraba State?
The foundation is very, very key. So I don't see any problem in that. It's a government responsibility. We need to cut down some certain things to be able to achieve this. So some expenses need to be cut down and then channel these resources to education. We're going to sit down with my team. We'll look at areas that we need to cut down. And if it means cutting down convoy, cutting down some of these things, we'll do that. But it depends on what is available for us to do. But one thing I want to assure you is that this mission that is ahead of me must be fulfilled.
Taraba State Governor Agbo Kefas talking about a likely cut of expenses, from the government, in order to make sure that free education, which starts in September in the state, comes to reality and also maintained. Well, every governor or every state governors will surely have their own plans. But can every state governors do this, and can this also get to the federal level? If if senators, House of Rep members, even Mr. President can say, we are cutting down on unnecessary convoy, unnecessary payment, and we focus on making either working on the energy resources, working on putting things in place to make sure that Nigeria is secure. Also look at Nigeria's education system. Pay salaries of lecturers.
Well, one of the major ways to return Nigeria to its evergreen status is by cutting the cost of governance, which has been a conversation for a period of time right now. And it's the reality that we are not ready to face, particularly for the powers that be. So we just keep lamenting about same story, sounding like broken records, and nothing has been done about it. If we really want Nigeria to be great again, cost of governance needs to be cut. We just read the budget allocation for the National Assembly, and we're seeing over 70 billion naira for the same budgetary allocation that happened the previous year as a cause of renovation, and now we're seeing another allocation for what?
Well, Comrade Olomotosha is with us this morning, which is the Friday edition. We look at these headlines and what DSS has done, charging Emefiele to court. Comrade, thank you for joining us. Thank God it's Friday. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Unfortunately, I can't join you. I'm in a court hall now.
Okay. So that you will not go against the court ruling. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Comrade Olomotosha. Well, is it a court session? But now let's look at some of this this morning. Well, in the course of the show, Comrade Ayodeji Adeshope will also join us. But I mean, yesterday, when we look at that, the issue of, Godwin Emefiele, who has been in the custody of the DSS after he has been, he was first suspended, then picked up by DSS, and there was a case. The Federal High Court yesterday told DSS, to charge him to court. Or you allow him go, which was done yesterday. And let's keep our fingers crossed to see what happens at the end of the day. And we just hope that that of the former EFCC, boss will also, be charged to court at the same time.
Bauer, yeah.
Yeah, Bauer. But now, looking at the service chiefs this morning with the headline coming from the Nation newspaper. Service chiefs pledge proactive security. And I saw a headline yesterday from, I think that should be the Chief of Army Staff, saying that the crisis in the southeast region must end. So those ordering sit at home must also be stopped. Maybe we say a bold statement coming from the Nigerian army. Because, yesterday was, talking about the case of Nnamdi Kanu and Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, who's a senator, from that same region, made it clear that what they can do is to see how the Southeast leaders, come together to see how they are going to meet Mr. President to see how they can, look for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But the question is, should Nnamdi Kanu be released? Will there be peace in the Southeast region, or this man will still be calling for, separation of the Southeast, away from Nigeria? But let's listen to Senator Ifeanyi Ubah this morning concerning Nnamdi Kanu's release.
There's a resolution that we are going to meet with the president to seek his leniency and see if it's going to be possible. I plead with him to have Nnamdi Kanu released. We've taken that position. For also some of us in the Senate, we have our caucus. We have also taken that position, And then these are things we need to do. Then we also need to look at the young man that is in Finland that is causing all these problems and see how we can diplomatically, engage the government of Finland and then show them that he is not really doing or giving a good service to. So, even though we don't know if he's nationality of taking the nationality of Finland.
Well, Senator Ifeanyi Ubah speaking there concerning Nnamdi Kanu's release and what they'll be doing to make sure that the peace returns to the the Southeast region. So we were having a discussion earlier, while we were looking at the headlines and the breakdown of the palliative.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you were saying people should.
The major headline, I think the major story this morning is regarding the palliative because it concerns just any Nigerian of any social strata. Because it was Burna Boy that said, Dangote self still find money. So even if you're wealthy, if someone is deciding to add 8,000 naira to your pocket, I don't think you would reject it. So it concerns every one of us. And the federal government, the Senate, okays $800 million World Bank borrowing for the distribution to 12 million poor household, which they would be getting 8,000 naira per month. Now, if you calculate 8,000 naira per month times 6, which is going to run for a period of 6 months, that will be 48,000. It's not even up to 50,000. And if we're being honest with ourselves, 8,000 naira, some people use more than that in a day. And now you want to distribute this money for a month, a household, assuming the family is maybe a family of 8, for instance. How are they going to share this money? How would this money cater for electricity bill, cater for house rent, cater for clothing, cater for food, and all the spendings that comes with living in a household? Now, a lot of stakeholders have raised eyebrows to this distribution, saying, how about this money? These monies are diverted into other things, like fixing our refineries. Because essentially, the reason the government is borrowing this money and they want to give it to the poor and vulnerable in their defense is because they want to mitigate the effect of the hike in petrol price. But I think that if our refineries were fixed, would have competitive markets. Now, we won't be tussling to pay for 250 or 500 or 700 when we have a national refinery that's selling for 200, 190 or less than that?
Okay, so after that, story broke yesterday, there was a breakdown by the Nation newspaper yesterday. What to know about federal government's 8,000 naira palliatives for 6 months. If you look at the Nation newspaper this morning, I mean, you can get a copy of the Nation, but let's both look at it this morning. So the news of the 500 billion palliative proposed by President Bola Tinubu to cushion the effect of the petrol subsidy removal has continued to generate mixed reactions. On Wednesday, the president wrote to the House of Representatives seeking approval for 500 billion naira to cushion the effect of petrol subsidy removal. In a swift response, the House of Representatives on Thursday approved a request calling for proper utilization of the funds for the purpose it was meant for. Remember, Serap came out, to tell Mr. President to also show Nigerians how this money will be distributed. Now, let us look at the first one here. It says, you must be on the National Social Register, in order to make sure that you'll be part of this. The former Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, and the last administration had explained that there is a social register which will be used for the electronic transfer of the funds. So who are those people that will be in that social register?
Now, there's a bit of concern with that particular requirement, because if you're being honest, if you go to rural communities, you would understand that some of these people do not have account numbers. If they're using transfers as a medium to send these monies to them, they don't have account numbers. So how would they get this money?
Okay. And according to report, the National Social Register as of end of January 2022 captured over 46 million Nigerians.
There are over 227 million Nigerians.
Okay.
Now, that's not even up to, how many percent is that?
Looking at the second point here, although the modalities to be adopted by the federal government in the implementation of the new program is yet to be fully outlined, these cash transfers are for poor and vulnerable people in both rural and urban areas in Nigeria. People always believe that if you're in a rural area, you are poor. So why the urban?
No, because the truth of the matter is, Lagos, literally everywhere in Lagos is an urban city, if you're being honest.
Including the
swamps.
I mean, if you're saying everybody, Lagos is urban.
Lagos is an urban city, to be honest. So, and if you look at there's a breakdown for geopolitical zones with what you're reading. Lagos got they were among the least majority of people that will receive this funds.
Okay.
They were not factored into the number of persons or states that will receive a large chunk of these monies, because it's assumed that Lagos is an urban city. That's the perspective I'm trying to bring.
Okay, so now
picture.
people in the rural areas, have they been banked? Because there's a way the bank has called, is it the unbanking or banking?
The unbanked are those who don't even have a bank account.
So the unbanked, so how do they now transfer the money to them?
That is the question, because the truth of the matter, the people who needs this money, if we're being honest, I'm not saying you don't need the money, I don't need the money. We
all need the money.
Yes, but the people who actually need this money, most of them do not have bank accounts. So how would this money be disbursed to them? How they get it?
Now, Nigerians were told to do NIN. Do we have all these guys with their NIN numbers?
They might have NIN numbers.
Do they also have voter cards? I feel this should be part of the criteria to use in selecting or in getting the people working on the register. Now, they said children, adolescents, girls, women, and elderly, unemployed, malnourished people, and those who are ill or with pre-existing health conditions or disabilities are particularly vulnerable.
The truth is, all these requirements, if we're being honest, are not a match to what this money or the money these people have spent, the vulnerable, in taking care of themselves. What would 8,000 naira per month, not even per day, do to a household in this country?
I feel
in a month, even as a single man, I spend more than that.
Okay, I know, right? You buy data, you buy airtime.
I just bought data yesterday of 6,000 naira.
Okay.
And that wouldn't even last up to a month.
I know you're also planning to get inverter or solar panel
That's the life of a rich man. I'm just saying that.
No, I get where you are going to.
This money is nothing.
Nigerians at least, spend close to 10,000 naira in a day. I don't know of Ajishokwe. I don't know of Comrade Ajishokwe. I don't know how much he spends in a day and how he can manage 8,000 naira in a month. Comrade Ajishokwe. Good morning. Can you hear me, Comrade? Okay, let's see if we can reconnect to Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokwe this morning. I mean, if you're saying 8,000 naira, you are complaining that you spend more than that. How much is meant for core members? Core members are collecting 33,000 naira, right? And these people are still complaining that the 33,000 naira is not enough. How much are you paying for house rent, for feeding? I mean, these are the things we have to look at here. But I feel this particular breakdown from the Nation newspaper, how federal government will surely distribute this money monthly. I think a lot should be done.
If we had great news from the last monies that were disbursed, then maybe.
Hello, that was.
Yeah, Comrade. Ayodeji Ajishokwe, can you hear me now?
I can't hear you. There must be a problem.
Okay, just hold on. Let me see if I can reconnect you here. If you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you now.
Better. Good morning to you. Maybe because you've gotten the 8,000 naira. Were you opportune to get the first 5,000 naira?
No. But I was told the vice principal got it. I don't understand how a vice principal will get that kind of money.
5,000 naira. Then.
Also, so you know someone who received the 5,000 naira by the previous administration?
He's not entitled. Yeah, well. You see, the money, that $800 million was already in the pipeline. And but I think it should have been renegotiated, because there are conditions attached. They got it from the World Bank, and they have to probably go back and renegotiate. But I think they're going ahead with it. It is a sort of palliative, and I think they just want to do something. They need to do something. The government needs to do something. They have to be seen to be doing something. That's why they are going ahead with that.
I've heard you speak severally, and I know that palliative is not a word that you reckon with. It's not a word you find very interesting, even to use. And
it is not particularly kind.
So my question is, let's even break this down. The 8,000 naira per month for a household for a period of 6 months will total to 48,000, not even up to 50,000 naira. And you're a family man, and I'm sure that 8,000 naira is almost the amount you spend per day. So how do you think these monies being disbursed to the poor and vulnerable in the defense of the federal government will serve Nigerians?
That is the word, the key word, vulnerable. And believe you me, the vulnerable in this country, you will remember that the World Bank said 100 million Nigerians are multi-dimensionally poor. Not just poor in earnings. They are poor in health, they are poor in feeding, they are poor in even housing. Multi-dimensionally poor. Now, it might mean nothing to you and I. These are people who take pap in the morning, pap. You understand? Pap. And believe you me, in towns now too, that is not cheap. They take pap, and it's maybe 1 or 2 balls of bean cake, and they're done for their breakfast. Maybe they take, for 8,000 naira, for people like that, it might be meaningful. You understand? Vulnerable. That's the key word that they are using. Vulnerable. And like I said, government wants to be seen to be doing something. And I said it in an earlier conversation that 3 months is the maximum of grace that this administration has, in order to impact or do something about this issue of palliative. The other one, like the transport infrastructure, which is key in relieving the people's stress and pressure, it is not going to be possible overnight. You're going to be importing buses. Yes, you can import buses, but what about the road infrastructure? that will carry that. So they want to be seen to be doing something. But there's also a problem with the register. How did they generate it? These are challenges that we have to scrutinize.
Exactly
But,
what we were discussing this morning about that register. The data that we got is that according to, the Nation newspaper, that as at 2022, right? January 2022, the data captured, the register captured 46 million Nigerians. And this is, what month are we? July 2023.
Yeah.
What did they even use in capturing these people? What was the what was the plan? What did they use?
Determining factor.
What criteria?
What criteria?
Somebody told me, a lawyer told me on today's Friday, on Wednesday, he said when they were generating that register, they did it through some NGOs. He told me that he was asked to get involved and do one thing or the other, but because he's an activist and all of that, they did due diligence and said, don't involve that guy, or he will expose us. That people who are paying 5,000 to get on the register. Just this Wednesday, the lawyer told us that live on air. So how did they what criteria? What criteria? And how are they going to, you think they're going to transfer Italy and all of that? Is it the man in Kaura Namuda? Or is it the man, even in Oyo State, there are 6 local governments, 4 or 5 local governments that I'm told that has no banking facility in Oyo State. Not to talk of off the shores of Lake South. Even in Lagos, go to Takwa Bay, no bank there. Go to all these places. You understand? These are issues. The vulnerable live in places that are not particularly accessible. So, how do you get to that?
I mean, that's the very concern that we're having. And if the last money distributed by the previous administration was received by a lot of Nigerians with testimonies as backing, maybe we won't be doubting this money disbursement, because we've seen the presidential candidate for the PDP from the last election, Atiku, come out to say it's a way of diverting public funds to private pockets.
Yes, it is a child. You see, this is the bane of our society. Data. We don't even know our number. We don't know our number. Our number is based on, guesswork. The United Nations has a counter for Nigeria. Nigeria does not have it. Go like to the site, you go there, a counter counting Nigeria's population. We don't have one. So we don't have one. That's a terrible indictment when we don't have that. What are you going to be planning with? And what kind of plans are you going to be making? That has been at the day. And look at migration. Look at the migration that has taken place in the past 5-10 years in this country. So what we have now does not give us a right picture. And I don't think it is that difficult. I do hope that the census headcount they were planning to do before Buhari left, they will still do it. And they will do the needful.
I mean, Comrade, you just spoke my mind here. A few days ago was the World Population Day, and we were all expecting the Nigerian Population Commission to also come out, give us an update when the population census will happen, and maybe they can use the data from that to use in having a data and in disbursement of these funds. But let's just keep our fingers crossed. Let's wait till we get that update. However, let's look at what happened at the Senate yesterday. The Senate giving a nod to the security chiefs. And after that, there was a pronouncement by the Chief of Army Staff yesterday to make sure that peace returns to Southeast. Too early, too late, or the right thing to say at this point in time. Remember, there's been sit at home for the past few months. Now, we also got the update that there should be 2 weeks protest or 2 weeks sit at home. And now, how many weeks should we give the service chiefs to make sure that peace returns to the Southeast?
I go back to the president's inaugural speech. He deployed a cliche that had been overused and overplugged. He said he was now going to go beyond Nigeria's security architecture, that he was going to address Nigeria's security doctrine. And security doctrine encompasses national interest in economic, social, diplomatic terms. It goes beyond, there's unrest there. You go and tackle it. Look, the Nigeria's military in our civil space is suffocating. What if, I asked this on Wednesday, what if there's external aggression? Does the military have the capacity to deal with internal security issues and also external aggression at the same time? That is the major issue. The police is globally the primary agency for internal security. Deliberately and intentionally since 1976, and it got escalated in 1983. The police has been the capacity of the police has been dealt a terrible blow by the military. When Murtala Mohammed was killed, the A branch that was responsible for intelligence was taken out and turned into NSO that became SSS and now DSS. Then the National Intelligence Agency. We must go back to the fundamentals. Where did you get it wrong? Intelligence is key. The military is not equipped. They are to search and destroy. They are not to occupy. They don't have the civil capacity. They have only military capacity. We have seen situations in which the military will take territory back from Boko Haram and the insurgents, and then they will move forward. And the insurgents will go back through the flanks and reoccupy those places. They don't have the capacity to govern. It's as simple as that. Strengthen the police. Strengthen the police. I hope with the new Ribado in place and Egbetokun that has access to the president, something good will be planted. Get me right. Planted. We cannot expect a tree planted in one day to start growing fruit the next week. So something will be planted. The chief of staff saying all of that, let us just hope. It's not about the chief
of army staff. Yeah,
yes, it's not about the service chief. It's about what is on ground. And let me tell you, war is business. War is business globally. Those military guys, they will never want all of this to end. It is business.
Can you repeat that? Like they don't want it to end.
War is business. War is business. War is business.
Oh, meaning they make money from this.
What do you make from business? You make money, you make profit. Let's call it profit. So, war is business. They never want it to end. Therefore, we must take the military out of the civil space. It's not going to be a one-stroke thing. It's going to take years. We didn't get here by sudden fight. It started in 1976, escalated in 1983-84. But we've got to start the process, get the military out of our civil space. It is suffocating. It is unnecessary. It is costly. Okay. Very, very costly.
So that we won't suffocate you this morning, let's go on a break. And when we come back, we'll look at another burning issue. Then we'll wrap up the edition for this week. Do not go anywhere. AM Update is still live.
John!
What's up?
Check your phone. I just send you Momo referral.
My mama don't run that one for me since now. Me say for the find who I go refer, make a quick hammer my million.
Hey! You too fit be one of the 12 millionaires for the Momo Refer and Win promo. To win, dial star 671 # to sharply open your Momo account and select option 6 to refer family and friends them. After that, make sure say them open Momo account and use them recharge airtime or data at least 100 naira. Chicken, the more people where you refer, the more you go win. If you not see out of 12 million naira every week, you fit to chop out of 25 million naira.
Momo Refer and Win promo. The more you refer, the more you win. Promo go run from June 15 till August 9, 2023. Terms and conditions they shall.
Super Foods, number 12.
daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Junior, get inside. You don't want to let mosquitoes bite you, do you? I cannot treat malaria again, no.
Mama Junior, children will play. It is you that should keep your environment clean in order not to breed mosquitoes.
Even after netting the whole house and sleeping inside the insecticide-treated net?
Of course. Don't you know the state of your environment is as important as inside your house? Yes. When you get rid of stagnant water at every space mosquitoes can breed, be rest assured, Junior can play all he wants.
My friend, the honorary doctor, I will do just that so that my family can say bye-bye to mosquitoes.
Not just mosquitoes, but malaria.
Together, we can achieve a zero malaria society.
This message is from Solutions 93.9 FM.
News, sports, entertainment, top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial.
Alright, 20 minutes gone past 9. You're still listening to the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. This is from the dailies. My name is Victor Richard, and with Oladapo Kunubi, of course, we're speaking to our analyst this morning, Comrade Ayodeji Ajishokbe. He has been lending credence to some of the stories that made the headlines this morning. We've been able to talk about a couple of issues, from the distribution of the 8,000 naira palliative to 120 million households here in Nigeria who are said to be poor and vulnerable, as well as Emefiele's and DS's issue.
Now, we are yet to even look at that Emefiele's issue with Comrade
absolutely.
this morning.
So we'll get right into that.
All right, so Comrade, looking at DSS, you know, is it that most of these security agencies don't know what the law says? You know, before they now finally charged Emefiele to court.
You see, I don't understand. We have been at the issue of Emefiele long before Buhari left. They had wanted to get him arrested. Now, what is, and they accused him anyway. They accused him, gun running, this and that. Now, this is July 14th. You arrested this guy. You had plans to arrest him even before Buhari left. Early this year, you wanted to arrest him after the primary, after the election. Now, if you wanted to arrest him, that means you had something on him. If you had something on him, what else again? Just charge the man court. The laws are very, very clear on this. You cannot, you can go to court and ask for court orders and all of that to extend. What is it? And let me tell you, the danger is that these same Nigerians that Emefiele inflicted so much pain on, give it another few weeks and months, they will start saying, what is it now? Charge the man to court. If you cannot charge him to court, who release him? What is it that he did that somebody else did not do? You accuse him of gun running. Provide evidence, charge him to court. You can even amend your charges later. We see it. They come to court, 99 count charge, 120 count charge, and all of that. And they go back and amend it. Let them charge the man to court. And they can say security risk or whatever. He can take his passport. He will run away. And keep an eye on him. A 24-hour surveillance on the man. They have the capacity. So what is it? They should just do the needful. Let them build a watertight case against him if they have evidence. If they don't have evidence, they just let the man go.
Okay.
He has right. He has right.
Now, if you're saying that Emefiele has got a right, what of other ordinary Nigerians, who are still in custody? Some spending 2, 3, 4 years without being charged to court. Maybe this will be an eye-opener at the end of the day to know that when you are arrested, you have the right to call your lawyer or be charged to court.
Comrade Award. Nigerians, when it comes to facing the law, I have seen it. Nigerians are timid. I can boldly say it. Nigerians are timid. They don't want the law to take its course. For them, it is too long, it is too stressful, and all of that. I've come across this. Nigerians generally don't want the law to take its course. They want to take the shortcut. And they are the ones that are actually trying to, induce the law enforcement officers. That is it. Nigerians don't want to stand for their rights. I don't want to stretch it too far. That is just it. They think it is time wasting. They think they can short circuit and take shortcuts and arrive where they are going. But at the end of the day, you compromise. I've seen minor traffic accidents occur, and I saw a man stand his ground. The policeman and the traffic people were going to take side with the man that looked like he was well-to-do, and all of that. So Nigerians don't want to take a stand. Nigerians don't want to stand for their rights. They don't want to fight for it, and that is what is. Maybe Nigerians don't even know their rights. They don't even know that they have rights. So I think that is the basic issue.
Indeed, knowledge is power. Let's end with this, comrade. Of course, the president has declared a state of emergency in the food sector. This is coming with the looming food scarcity that we might experience in the country. And it has earmarked 500 hectares of land, for the use in agriculture and farming, as well as and open opportunities for people to get jobs via farm. We're already seeing that food scarcity, if not taken into consideration, might result into something worse. So what do you have to say about this move on a state of emergency for food security?
This is no longer the presidency. When you said the presidency declared, I quickly took a look at the headline. It specifically says, Tinubu declared.
I reiterated. I said president eventually.
It is no longer the presidency. It is the president. So, yes, there is an emergency. When I read the details of that story, it was Dele Alake, the spokesperson of the president. Well, you see, we have been on this road before. We had Operation Feed the Nation. We had Green Revolution. We had NALDA. We had all of it. And my concern is, do we have a plan? Where is the plan? Government, especially Nigeria's bureaucracy, must not get deeply involved, because Nigeria's bureaucracy will scuttle it. They will scuttle, no matter how beautiful the plan is. Leave it in the hands of, businesses, those who are in agro industry, and let me tell you one thing that is key to food security. Food security is beyond planting and harvesting, the value chain. We are not making good business in the value chain. All we do is plant and harvest. Even the planting and harvesting that we do, there is scientific evidence. Researchers have told us that 40% of harvest is wasted. That is enormous. So these are the things we should look at. Government bureaucracy must not get involved. They should find big businesses, those who are in the agro business, to do this, for it to run efficiently. Look, they vote 1 billion naira for a project. They set up a bureaucracy. The bureaucracy that is to implement it spends 400 million out of 1 billion. What kind of transaction is that? Bureaucracy that is to implement spends 400 million out of 1 billion earmarked for the project. It doesn't make sense. So, let's have a plan. 500,000 hectares, not acres. That is more than 1 million acres. In fact, way more than that. That is huge. But let us see the details of the plan. Let's see the strategy.
Okay.
So,
All right, thank you very much, Comrade Ayode Ajishokwe, for your analysis this morning. And, for this week, thank you so much for joining us. And let us
my
also...
pleasure always, brother.
Yeah,
My pleasure.
let us hope that next week we get positive news, good stories coming from the presidency, even to the state government.
Presidency.
And the president as well.
And the president, including the state government. I mean,
Lord have
let's wait and see, because we should be expecting list of commissioners, ministers also.
Yes,
in the next few days. Let's be hopeful.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Have a wonderful weekend.
And
God
you
bless
too.
you.
All right. Well, remember to join Ayode Ajishokwe on Sunday on Pendulum. Okay.
It's
well.
time for us to look and receive your messages. We want to see them and read them. We also want to hear from you. Like I said, I would want to hear from people who received the palliative of the previous administration, the 5,000 naira. So if you have testimonies in that regard, with a couple of minutes that we have, let's entertain your testimonies.
Okay.
To call us, call 0909. I don't know why that was laughing. 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. 0909 888 9939 or 0912 222 2939. We're also reading messages on Twitter, so we'll look at a couple of messages this morning.
Okay, talking about tweets concerning that 8,000 naira per month, because that's the trending story. Okay, so there's a tweet from Theresa Tekena saying that it's good the 8,000 naira will be sent via digital transfers directly to beneficiaries' account and a mobile wallet. That way, there's transparency and accountability. I believe there will be other palliatives aside this.
Other palliative way. From
Well,
where to where?
from Prosper Ray 3 says, can you live with $10 a month? Just asking though. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay.
Adinka says the palliative move is welcome, but implementation is the problem. With the level of inflation that we're experiencing, it's alarming the way money goes nowadays. It's like performing a magic trick.
Okay, let's change the ET on Twitter saying, my thoughts are what happens after the 6 months. So think about it.
Fidelis says most people whose name were in the so-called list of 2016 are not alive today. So who received the money? I don't know how you got the data of people who received the money and not alive.
Will there also be reshufflements if they reshuffle names and fix them?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I think that's the point he's trying to make. Okay, that makes sense.
Celebrity Baba on Twitter says, just invest the entire money into our energy. Stable electricity will reduce the poverty rate.
Another comment here says, on the palliative, one would have thought reducing tax deductions through small would have immediate impact on more people, but our politicians enjoy the feeling of sharing money and can't think outside the box. Clearly, it shows there was no plan to address the effect of the subsidy removal. In fact, their economy style is area boy economy. They like to throw money at anything. Olisa sent in that message. Another one here from Tokbe says, this 5 billion naira can be used for processing plants in all 774 local government areas to engage the youths involved in criminality. Why is it that our nation's leadership failed to do the needful but engage in policies and decisions that are not welcome by the overwhelming majority of Nigerians? Tell me not to wait much longer while they run this country under the ground. Tell me not to be careful anymore, for all they care is to achieve monies in their pockets.
The last message I'm taking here from Adna Abdullah Adam on Twitter says, giving 8,000 naira transfer palliative is good gesture. Half of bread is better than none. Poor man in Nigeria these days barely afford to eat 3 square meals. Okay.
as well. Different strokes for different folks. Yeah.
All right, well, AM Updates makes a return next week, Monday. We kick off Sports Show 8 o'clock. Remember, Victory Richard will also be here Monday with Solutions Clinic, right?
Absolutely. We'll be dealing on COVID-19. It's a subject that, since 2020 has been regulated to the background because a lot of people feel, we're back to normalcy. But I can assure you there are always record cases of people coming down with the virus. And you don't want that to happen to you or your family.
Okay, well, wherever you go, make sure that your light shines, right? If I shine my teeth, I can shine my teeth, you shine your teeth, right? Well, remember this, today we'll also be hosting another celebrity on the Friday show, 2 to 4. My name is Ola Dakwa Kunubi.
All right, my name is Victory Richard. Have yourself a great weekend.
Have you seen the sun? Have you seen the moon? They are shining light for you.